Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander. And today we have a brand new episode in our card spotlight series in which I look at a card that I feel is underplayed or underappreciated in Commander and discuss its merits. But before we do that, just a quick reminder to please click subscribe if you enjoy these videos. It's the only way the YouTube algorithm really notices me, and we're currently growing the channel and it helps me a lot. Much appreciated. And today we're going to be talking about Tom Bombadil from the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth set. And Tom Bombadil is, for WUBRG, a legendary creature, God Bard 4/4, with as long as there are 4 or more lore counters among sagas you control, Tom Bombadil has hexproof and indestructible. And whenever the final chapter ability of a saga you control resolves, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a saga card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This ability triggers only once each turn. So this is incredibly sweet. I love this so much, although I honestly think that the hexproof and indestructible part is a little bit too strong because it's going to be so easy to have 4 or more lore counters among sagas you control, which means this is going to be very, very difficult to remove, and it's going to sit there giving you value turn after turn after turn. I think it's really sweet in principle, although in practice, whenever I've played a deck like this, such as Goshin Tai of Life's Origin, it's actually kind of been a little bit repetitive and a little bit dull to play, but it might be different with sagas, I don't know. In any case, there's a lot of cool things you can do to build around this card. So obviously one of the first things I went to was Satsuki, the Living Lore. That is a sweet card that I've been wanting to build a deck around for a while, but being in Selesnya meant that it was a little bit limited. Now, if you can put this in a WUBRG deck, she's going to be super, super strong, and she's going to pump all those sagas abilities out really fast. Another card that's going to work really well with this, obviously, is Historian's Boon from Dominaria United. So whenever a non-token enchantment enters the battlefield, you're going to get a 1/1 white creature token. That's really good. And then whenever the final chapter of a saga you control triggers, you're going to get a 4/4 Angel Flyer with Vigilance, which again is super sweet. It's going to be triggering a lot in this deck, and it's going to allow you to stall out the game, which is really what you want to be doing in a saga deck. Other cards that are going to fit super well in this deck are things like Strionic Resonator, which is going to allow you to get that trigger twice. Even though it only triggers once, you can copy it. So that's really solid. For a similar reason, Lithoform Engine is also going to be really sweet in this deck. Sadly, the Peregrine Dynamo is not going to work, but the Peregrine Dynamo can still work with Satsuki, so it might be a good include as well. Weaver of Harmony is obviously going to be a fantastic card in this deck because we're going to be able to copy all of those saga triggers, or at least the best ones. But where I think this is really interesting is with stuff like Proliferate, which is going to guarantee that you always have enough counters on your sagas, basically. But not only that, we can also use stuff like we talked about in some of our recent deck techs, such as a lot of the cards from our Glisa Sunseeker deck, which remove counters from permanents, which are going to allow our sagas to keep triggering and stick around. And this adds 3 new colors to that deck, basically. So there's a few sweet cards that we can put in from there. And then we have Scholar of New Horizons, which I recently talked about as well, which is also going to allow us to remove counters from permanents we control to search our deck for planes. Now, since you're a 5-color deck, you're probably going to have quite a few cards with the plane subtype, so that can just search up fixing in this deck, which is amazing. So Tom Bombadil has about 1 million ways that you can go around building it, and it's going to be an incredibly powerful commander that I think is going to be very, very fun to play. I cannot wait to get my hands on this, and as soon as the set comes out, I will be making a deck. So there you have it. That has been our card spotlight for today. What are your thoughts on this card? Let me know in the comment section below. I read all comments and respond to all of them too. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel. And until next time, take care.